Alright, here's the oil filter mount I got going on here. I'm going to put this in the front of the video here. Basically went about this a little different than most other people. We're going to try something different. But usually guys will mount, see these two lower bolts here on this engine plate. I'll make a bracket for their filter. This one's tucked up, just, you know, it's going to ride with the swing arm basically, so it's tucked up a little bit higher. Kind of trying to hide it a little more. It's still going to hang down a little. But yeah, trying to keep much of a stock look as I could, but either way, if you look for it, you're going to see it. It's not a whole lot of places to hide them on these things. Some of the map one, you can put it inside your tool bag there. You know, tool bag delete, it's like a cylinder type filter. Yeah, went with the Norton style one, filter adapter, and if you're gonna try something different here, put it there on the swing arm instead of the engine plates. Just get creative with either way. You have to get creative with your oil line routings, keep it everything happy. But yeah, figure out those in the front of the video. Rest of this video's got me doing the bracket and changing the swing arm bushings. So yeah, if you're looking to change swing arm bushings, that's how I went about that also. All right, back on this 66 Lightning here. Gonna look at doing an oil filter down in there, a swing arm there, and there's the filter adapter filter. And I was trying this little piece of scrap here, then I was out back in the shed looking, and yeah, there's an old lawnmower back there that's maybe someday just turn into a go-kart or whatever, or just go right to the scrap yard, who knows. But this was on there. It's a trailer hitch bagger attachment, and yeah, I'm going to use some steel from that thing, and glad that didn't go to scrap yet, because there's some good stuff there. Anyhow, got the wheels on, fenders are on. Just come out here to put the bars on, got distracted with this filter thing, which I need to do before I go putting the engine in, I'm thinking, for access. So yeah, I'm gonna get to cutting this thing up. Quick little trick here, if you don't have a hole finder or a stud, you could, I used 2 erasers, marked them with some grease, and pushed it on there to figure out where I wanted my holes. But yep, it lined right up, and yeah, gonna get this thing cleaned up. It's obviously way too big. Gonna get it dialed in and prep the swing arm area there. It's gonna go right in here. All right, I got it tacked in here. As you can see, the clearance is pretty tight here between the rear motor mount where I'm putting those bolts or cap screws. But yeah, favored it over to maybe the left side of the bike, kind of way the adapter, the way the oil tubes come out of the adapter, to have more room to feed the oil lines to, favoring the left side of the bike. Sounds like the rain's picking up. I'm going to continue to burn this in, and I'm happy where it's at. And once it's burned in, all cleaned up, we'll come back. All right, bear with me. I'm no welder. Definitely not my full-time job. But yeah, I got a little filler piece in there for where that curve is. I'll do the same on the other side. Just gonna finish burning this in, then let it cool off and get some paint, or get some primer on it and then paint. All right, got that filler piece burned in there. Gonna work my way over to the other side. All right, it's all primed up there. So I'm killing some time while that's drying. I use this Rust-Oleum. Works pretty good. I'm going to use this Rust-Oleum black. Got a center stand here. Just came on the mail today. I did the on Facebook. There's the British Motorcycle Buy and Sell Parts group, and I put out a want to buy center stand for an A65 post, and a couple guys replied. One was a guy I bought parts from before on eBay. This is from him. I don't remember if he had one advertised on eBay. There is quite a few listed there. Some guys are pretty proud of them. This guy gave me a pretty good deal compared to what was on what the prices were on eBay. It's a Dottler. Is name of his eBay store. But still waiting for the other stand to show up from another guy. A little cheaper. Not sure what the condition will be like. I'll see when it shows up. But while this paint, while the primer is drying in the paint, I'm going to get the engine all cleaned up. I took the valve cover off a while ago. Got it a little bit cleaned up. I'm going to throw it on the wheel. The polisher over there, kind of away from everything. This stuff does pretty decent, but you still got to throw it up on the wheel and get some polish on it. I'm actually just going to hammer this thing down with some the old WD-40. Basically soak it down and let it loosen everything up. Wipe it off. I don't want to use anything harsh like brake cleaner or carb cleaner or anything. I'm thinking this that WD-40 loosens up some grime. It actually did better on this thing, on the frame, than the engine degreaser. Engine degreaser really didn't cut it. But yeah, WD loosened up the grime pretty good. So I'm going to get this grungy thing cleaned up while we're waiting on primer and then to dry, and then throw a coat of paint on it with wait for that to dry too. So got a few things to keep me busy till then. Stand by. Alright, got her hosed down pretty good. Gonna let that sit there and eat. Do it at once. I'll hit it again some more later. For now, just gonna let it fester on there, and then start polishing this valve cover. All right, got my first coat of black paint on there. I'm gonna hit the second coat. There's a few spots where the primer's showing through. Yeah, again, probably already said it. Just using this Rust-Oleum, put it on with the foam brush. Cleaned up the engine this morning. Not 100% sure if I'm going to polish these covers. I already started on the valve cover, so I'm kind of, I guess I'm kind of committed to doing the engine side covers. There's the, I'll draw a blank. They call that the, oh man, inner timing cover. Inner timing cover. Probably not a bad idea to pull that off and take a peek in there. Maybe pull the transmission apart. I'd have to take a peek in the, gonna look inside the fill plug and see what this looks like through there. This edge has been sitting a while. Might not be a bad idea to take that stuff apart, clean it up. Same over here on the clutch side. Definitely gonna take this one off and get in there and see what it looks like. So yeah, probably polish these up here sometime this weekend. I picked up some of this Mother's. Could have put that on this. I just hit this with the wheel yesterday. And yeah, I just basically, for the engine, I just sprayed more WD-40 on it and hit the engine case, just went over it by hand with steel wool. I didn't use the steel wool on the aluminum covers. The, timing cover, the primary cover, I didn't use any steel wool on that, but I did on the engine cases. Cleaned up pretty good. I haven't flipped it over yet to do the bottom. Probably do that here after I lighten it up a little bit after pulling these other covers off. And then it's basically polishing and waiting for paint to dry for tomorrow. I'll throw a second coat on there. I think today we head out for a ride. Later. Okay, so yeah, the rear end was together. I took it apart. Where I welded this plate, bracket, whatever you want to call it, to mount the oil filter there. I didn't know a whole lot about these swing arms, how they're bushed. I guess there's some rubber in there. I don't think I got it too hot. It seems to be doing what it's supposed to do. I thought maybe it was bushed with like bronze bushing or sleeve of some sort. I wasn't thinking needle bearings. I believe these over here have a different setup. Yeah, here of course I am in the dark. Probably can't make that out. The swing arm on there is, it's a 69. It's different. Different how it's bushed or bearing at the pivot point there. It's got actually a grease zerk on it, where this is 66, doesn't have that. The shocks, the rubbers on them are, yeah, they're not bad for their age, but they're not great, obviously. So it had me thinking, maybe I got that too hot in there when I welded that on there. I know guys that, from what I've been reading, guys that will powder coat these and they'll pull it all apart and they'll put the new I'll draw a blank. Anyhow, the bushings that are in there, the rubber sleeved with a rubber thing, and then another sleeve from what I could tell online. I haven't taken it apart yet, but they'll replace those when they powder coat their swing arms. They'll put new ones in there just from heating them up in the oven process. I guess smokes them, and I welded it on there, so it feels okay. But my thought is too is how these shock rubbers are. They're old. It's a 66. Original shocks. Going to be shopping for some new ones, I think. I mean, they'd probably work, but I'm thinking I'm already here. I'm taking stuff apart. I'm going to look in the new shocks. Bike's got, I think, like 15,000 miles on it. I think they would still do their job, but the rubbers are the worn part, not so much the internal part of the shock. But they're old, so kind of how I'm looking at. I've loosened that pin before and made sure it moved back and forth, but I've never taken the pin out of the swing arm, and so yeah, probably gonna pull that out and see what those things actually look like in there. I'm gonna do some reading on online on Facebook. There's a British motorcycle mechanics group I'm going to post on there. I'm sure I'll get 50 million different answers, but it could be all good. I haven't loosened it yet. There's different opinions on how to set that pin, where to tighten it at, whether you're way down wheels or if you're on a center stand. I did it. I wasn't on a center stand. I was had a transmission jack under there, but same thing. It was weight off wheels when I had that. I retightened that swing arm pin. Yeah, so I'm going to take that apart, but first I'm going to actually get that out and winter's approaching, so I'm gonna get a quick ride in on that, and I can show the slight differences of the hardware between these two swing arms. Pretty sure the lengths are the same, chain guard's the same. That one, like I said, it's got a grease zerk, and it's got some different hardware here where the pin goes through. Yeah, I'll circle back to this shortly after a quick little ride. All right, back out here. Loosened up the nut for the pivot pin. This moves a lot freely. Excuse me. So I'll take the swing arm out and see the condition of those bushes in there. Wow, okay. Yeah, got a good ride in. Maybe I got a cold laws out. Anyhow, the book does say that they're good for the life of the machine, but let's face it, these things are supposed to be on the road, what, 10, 20 years? This thing's way past that. The difference over here, this is a 69. As you can tell, there's the nut's different. It's got a safety on it too, which none of them are done. And the one's kind of hooking the frame, kinda. The other two aren't even bent over. So we need to address that. I just stopped riding this too. I just noticed it. Looking at that. Also, you can see on the bottom here. This one has a zerk fitting. This is a 69, whereas the other ones don't. And there's also down in there is different too. As you can tell, there's like a knurled thing. I believe there's seals in there of some sort. Obviously, they got a little better with these swing arms, I guess. Excuse me. Got the same deal over here, that spacer thing, cup, if you will. But yeah, if you come over here and look at this one, you know, it's a different deal. The pin also, I think, is solid too. This one's hollow. Yep, as you can tell, hollow. That one's there. It's still got like a keeper bolt, so the frames are obviously the same or similar. I have noticed some slight differences in the frames since I've got 4 different years here. Yeah, because that's solid there, that pin. But yeah, gonna pull this out, shop around for some new shocks, or maybe just, who knows, maybe just change those bushings in there, the rubbers. That's really what's nasty on them, and see what the rubbers are like, or the rubber is like inside a swing arm after getting it hot from welding on it. That's all I got for now. Update this shortly. All right, got swing arm out. It actually came out pretty easy. A pin, it's in decent shape. Threads on there, decent still. It actually came out, like I said, fairly easy. I've heard they could get seized in there, and I could see that. I dealt with that on a old quad racer years ago. It was stuck. Anyhow, I was picking at this stuff, the rubber in here, and it's a little gooey and funky. Don't know if that was from the heat of welding, very possible, or just goofy from age and just, you know, it's kind of crumbling. So yeah, it looks like they stick out a little bit. Gonna make note of that on each side. They appear to be eyeballing. It looks similar, but not 100% sure. So I measure. Didn't really see a split in there down when I was looking down there, but there has to be, I would assume. From looking at the parts online, it looks like it's a 2-piece deal, and you put them in the length you need. Not sure if I'm gonna whack that clean and kind of blend that in, it'd probably look a lot better if I trimmed that up there, that bracket, and kind of made it contour the swing arm instead of having those two holes there like that. I thought about maybe a flap or something later, but I don't think it's really needed. Basically, I messed up and I flipped it around. I'd already drilled the holes for that filter adapter. But yeah, gonna get some of these on order before I take them out. I'd like to have them here in my hand before I start taking stuff apart like that. I'm sure they'll come out. Heard people burning them out, melting the rubber or whatever. I'm just gonna stick it in the press and see what happens first go around. If it needs heat, it'll get heat. Yeah, that's about all I got. I'm gonna didn't get on the Facebook and group and ask anything about those. I'll probably write something up tonight on there, you know. Like I said, I'll probably get different opinions as normal. Just curious what other people think. By heating it up, if it affected them or not. They're definitely old. So yeah, just due to age, I'm gonna get some in order. All right, doing some reading here in the book real quick. It does say under the normal circumstances, bush will last the life of the machine. To do require renewal, bushes should be removed by burning it out. Sounds like you kind of melt the rubber between the small and the big one to then get the small bush out and then drive the big one out. I'll give it a shot just for shits and giggles, but she might just be getting tossed up in the press and pushed out. We'll see. Interesting procedure, I guess so. Yeah.